What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, the Demon Etrigan. And so here we have the demon posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. The demon only comes with his scimitar, which is a really nice accessory. I do like the detailing on it. It's a very cool sword. But then he also comes with the McFarlane display stand. Other than that, the demon doesn't come with anything else. I would have liked to see some fire accessories. That would have been nice, especially because he is the demon. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at the Demon Etrigan. And so here we have a closer look at the Demon Etrigan, and I really do like what McFarlane was going with. It's just not my personal cup of tea. I would have liked to see a traditional Demon Etrigan. This is a really nice figure in some aspects, but then it also has some shortcomings that we gotta take a look at. For starters, the head sculpt. The head sculpt is beautiful. This is one of the best demon head sculpts that I've ever seen, and we don't get too many Etrigan figures. I know that DC Universe Classics did a demon, DC Icons was gonna do one, but then that got cancelled. We don't really see the demon too often in toys, but when we finally get him, most of the time the figures are very well done, and I gotta say this is a very good head sculpt. I love the paintwork in the eyes, just the black underneath the eyes, and those piercing red eyes look so nice. He does have his horns, which is traditional Etrigan look, along with the webbed ears. Those look really fantastic, and I like the sculpt work in those ears. But yeah, I really do like the shade of yellow that they went with for his body. And one thing I do like is that they molded his neck, his head, and his hands in yellow paint. And I believe his toes are also molded in yellow, so there's no consistency issue when it comes to his head, or when his flesh tone. So I really do like that. Having a look at the figure though, this is the Demon Knight's version of Etrigan, so he's not wearing his traditional red tunic. We do have the demon emblem right here done in this really nice blood red, which looks really nice. We do have a cape right here, which is done in purple. Traditionally the demon has a blue cape, but the purple does look really nice. It is lacking in paint, I'm not gonna lie. The clasps are not painted, and I do believe they should be. I want to say they should be silver and red, kind of like the same color we got right here, but unfortunately they didn't paint them. And the cape has a lot of nice detailing on it. I love the texturing on McFarlane's cape. If there's one thing McFarlane knows how to detail, it's capes, and the way this looks, all the folds and wrinkles look really nice, and I do like the fact that it comes over itself right there and over here, so you can see it folding in on itself. Now, one thing that does bother me is his cape is in one piece. When I think of the Demon Etrigan, I think of a tattered cape, and this is really strange to see, at least for me. It's still a very solid sculpt, and the sculpt work does continue on the inside, and that's really impressive. I really do like the detailing on his armor. It's very intricate, and I do like how deep this gunmetal is. It's a very rich gunmetal color. Underneath he is wearing scale mail. Now unfortunately, it's just done in a pearlized plastic. It's not done in silver. I would have preferred it being silver, having a silver dry brush through it, just to help highlight some of the details. But sculpt is very nice throughout this figure, but paint apps are lacking, and that is something we have been noticing with McFarlane, is that the paint hasn't really been there. The sculpt is very solid, paint apps not so much. If you were to just take like 5 minutes to give this guy airbrushing or dry brushing, it will look so much better than just this. That's something I really want McFarlane to do moving forward, is just give us some more paint on the figures, because all this beautiful sculpt is being lost in the lack of paint, so that is unfortunate. Having a look at his arm here, these gauntlets are very vicious looking. Just look at those spikes. Now, I do advise caution when messing with his gauntlets, because these are not soft plastic. These are very dense plastic, and the only reason this one is bent is because it was in the package that way. So yeah, I can't bend that by myself. I do need to heat that up. But these are very dense, and these are very rough, so you don't want to apply pressure on any one point in particular. You want to try to find a spot that doesn't have those spikes and use that. Again, the hand is molded in yellow. Would have liked to see his fingernails painted. That would have been really good. Moving on to the rest of his tunic right here, you can see he does have a pentagram right there. Looking really nice in that blood red metallic color. We do have some straps, which again, would have liked to see the straps have some differentiating color on them rather than just being the same as his tassels right here. Tunic does come down with really nice texturing and fold detail. Same thing with the legs. We don't get any sort of paint on the his thighs right here, which again is a missed opportunity. Then I do like how they did this. They sculpted his greaves onto the thigh portion, and this is actually part of the thigh, and this is painted in the gunmetal. Then we do have like a silver right here. This is like a bluish gunmetal. This is more like a gray gunmetal, and you can see the differentiating metallic colors right here, which I actually do like that. I know some people might not, but it's actually one thing that I really love seeing on armor is when there's differentiating colors. This silver does a really good job contrasting the blue, the metallic blue I should say, although it's kind of like a gunmetal blue. And just like with the Batman the Dark Knight Returns Batman, these greaves are a softer plastic, so they do get out of the way and you can adjust them accordingly. So that's one thing I do like about this figure. And unlike that figure, they actually are sculpted underneath his ankle, so he actually does get ankle articulation. Then we have those two colors right there, followed by his toes. Again, wishing the nails were painted. So overall, the Demon Etrigan here has a lot of nice detailing. Can't really fault it there, but a little paint would go a long way with this figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get the Demon compared to other figures you may have in your collection. So here we have Demon Etrigan posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have the Demon posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 112 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have the Demon posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And just because these two look so good together, here we do have McFarlane's Demon posed next to the McFarlane styled Wonder Woman. So with the comparisons out of the way, guys, let's actually move on to his articulation, and this is where the Demon suffers the most. His articulation isn't up to par than what we've seen with other McFarlane Multiverse figures. His head is on a double ball joint, however, he doesn't look up. I don't know if it's the sculpt of the ears and the cape working against the head, but he cannot look up, and you can try to force it. I just don't want to break that joint. He can really look that far down. That's pretty much really neutral, and that's just slightly up. But yeah, his head movement is very limited. You can turn his head left and right, which is pretty good, but then when it comes to side movement, it is kind of limited, and unfortunately that's a glued in joint, so his neck really doesn't swivel around, which is unfortunate. His shoulders are on those butterfly joints that we've seen, which is a ball joint in a cup, which does provide some forward and back and up and down movement. His arms do go all the way around, although you will be fighting the armor. Unfortunately, the armor is attached to the cape, so that really doesn't allow the armor to move in natural ways, especially when you have the arm going up. Out to the side, goes out no problem, but I feel like this is too much. It does come in contact with the arm and doesn't let you raise the arm up all the way, so that is a little bit unfortunate. No bicep swivel, unfortunately, but we do have a single bend at the elbow, which only goes about that far. That's about 45 degrees. That is really, really sad on McFarlane's part and really bad by figure standards. And we also do get a swivel, but that doesn't help articulation, and it looks ugly, to be quite honest, and there's really no getting around it. His arm articulation is trash. Wrist joint does go up and down no problem. You can rotate that joint to have in and out hinge, but this is such a hard plastic that it doesn't go back, it only goes in, so do be aware of that if you try forcing that, you could break the pin, and you don't want that. He does have a ball joint here in the torso, which works pretty good, honestly. It does rotate nicely, pivot side to side, so we get some pretty good range there. His lower ball joint actually works really nice, but the way it's sculpted, You can't really arc him back too much because then you expose too much of the inner working, and you can move that to hide it, but it does appear like the demon is sculpted to be in a hunched position, so his abdomen really doesn't crunch forward further than that. Legs do kick forward only to about right there. I have been trying to get them to go, but this is so much right here with the tassels, straps, and the armor that we really don't get full movement going back. It's no problem. Out to the side he can do side kicks really well. He does have a thigh swivel, which is really nice. I do like seeing thigh swivels on McFarlane's figures. We do have a double bend at the knee. Now, unfortunately, the knee joint on mine, the left one is perfect. The right one, however, you can see it's missing a few detents. Like, there's supposed to be detents here and here to keep it from being this floppy. But yeah, it's missing detents, and that's just quality control, unfortunately. These are separate appliances, so those do rotate. We have a ball hinge in the ankle, so that does provide a hinge, so it goes forward and back. And it goes no problem, I do like that. We do have rotation, then we do have forward facing pin, and we can rotate that joint to have a true rocker ankle. And then of course we do have a toe hinge. So overall the demon has less than stellar articulation. I'm not going to lie to you, I would have liked to see some more articulation, especially in the torso and the arms. The arms, number one thing, it does make posing him a little bit hard, and his shoulders do seem a little bit loose, to be quite honest. But overall, still a really impressive looking figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get the demon pose for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the McFarlane Multiverse Demon Etrigan pose for my final thoughts, and overall, this is a really nice looking figure. There's a lot of things to like about the sculpt work on this figure. It's beautiful, his armor is very well designed, the cape is very nice, and this is one of the best demon head sculpts we've ever gotten in figure form, so I gotta give McFarlane props there. However, I do have to take things away when we look at his accessories and with his articulation. The sword is a really nice touch, but the demon is known for using fire. Some fire attachments or even a fire attachment for his mouth would have been really nice, especially because he breathes fire. That's what the demon does, and I'm not used to seeing him with a sword. And the fact that he has all this beautiful sculpt work but is missing paint really does irk me. It doesn't take much to give this guy a really impressive wash, and I've seen a lot of collectors do that already, so the fact that we've got pretty much a plain figure does rub me the wrong way, especially when you look at how nice his sculpt work is. Knowing that all that sculpt is there and no paint, it's really frustrating, especially from a collector's standpoint. Overall, I still like the way this figure came out, although I can understand why a lot of people would pass on this figure. It's not the demon that we all wanted. We wanted the classic looking demon with his red leotard and his blue cape and an angrier, menacing expression. Hopefully down the road McFarlane does give us that demon, but for now this one will have to do in our collection. I do see why a lot of people would pass on this figure, and I don't blame you. This demon is not for everyone, but I do feel like he does have his place, especially if we have the McFarlane designed Wonder Woman. I think these two look good together. If you haven't already seen what they look like, go ahead and try posing them together. See if they work for you. Again, this demon isn't going to be for everyone, and if you pass on this figure, I absolutely understand why. The demon will run you about $20, which is the same as all the other McFarlane figures, and he is available on sites like Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Walmart, and Target will be a really good place to find this guy. So if you are a fan of this particular design, pick him up. If not, I would say pass on him. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.